Oh yeah, baby. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, baby. Yeah, world's greatest living artist. This is hammer time. This is when you get to hang out with me. Hammer time, hammer time. Those of you who haven't been hanging out with me, I don't know what you're thinking. I'm only the coolest cat in town. Sorry about all the shaking. Just putting together my laptop. Putting together my computer. Can't really do much without it. I mean, I could be an artist, but I just couldn't be in business without it. So, good morning, lovers of the arts. Just wanted to remind you really quick here in this hammer time, guys. Those of you who have been thinking about creating a business in your arts, using your artwork to I don't know, to get paid or whatever, I'm gonna be doing something very cool for you guys. I'm going to do a free workshop to get you started. All right? So, just putting it out there for those of you who are interested in that. Ooh la la. So, yeah, guys. Hammer time is when I talk to you guys about keeping that local right. Okay? Keeping the mindset right. Really, the only way to make this thing work is if you keep that mindset in the right place. And it can be a little bit difficult because most of us, we think that we have to figure something out. And your mind is going to trick you into that from time to time if you're not careful. It might not. It did to me. It might not trick you into that. It might trick you into thinking that you're going to have to figure something out. You're going to have to go figure yourself out or something. I don't know. In order for you to start doing something. The reality is that that's not how it works. Okay? That is not how it works. When it comes to matters of the mind, it is my belief. Okay? This is just my belief. Action overcomes the whole thing. When it comes to matters of man, I don't believe in myself, and on, or I don't know if what I'm doing is the right thing to do, and on. I don't think that my artwork is that great, and all of that shit that goes through our heads. It really has to do with the fact that you're not moving fast enough. You're not moving fast enough. So see, this is something I learned from a mentor. Every minute that you sit there and you contemplate about how to do, you won't even know that you're doing it. You contemplate about how to do something. Should you do this? Should you do that? It's not just a minute that you're wasting. That's not what concerns me. That's not the thing that bothers me or that worries me. It's not the minute that you're wasting. It's what you're doing to your self-esteem. Really, where the problem is. Every time that you're like, man, should I go exhibit here? Should I not? Or if you get in a funk, you might think that it has to do with your artwork or all kinds of stuff. Your mind is very deceiving. Everyone's mind is very deceiving. It's an egoic state, right? It's the ego. Let go my ego. It's the ego, really what it is. That's why sages across time have referred to it as something very difficult to overcome. I mean, I think the JC used to call it the strong one, right? The strong one, because it's pretty fucking strong to be. Right? It's your mind. It's your mind that's bothering you. It makes you think that you're not good enough. It makes you think that on and on, all these things. But the reality is that the only reason it has that power, it's because you're not moving. That's really that's the bottom line. It's you're not moving. That's why it has so much power. Your idle hands are the devil's workshop, as it says somewhere else too, right? Every time you're not moving, you got time to think. You got time. Every time that you relax, and I'm not talking about relaxing in a mental state. That's good to relax in a mental state. But every time your body relaxes. Right? This is something that I've learned, guys. Unless you're sleeping, you should be moving 1,000 miles an hour. Like, you should be moving so fast unless you're sleeping, right? You're sleeping, your body's resting. But you should be moving. You should be moving. And I'm not just talking about working. This is why people get it wrong. They're like, oh my God, I can't be working like that all day. I'm not talking about working. I'm talking about like life itself, you know? You should be jumping from one thing to another. Experiencing the world, smelling the fucking roses and all that shit, right? Like you should be doing something. You should be moving. And then there's times where you rest, right? And you're not doing anything. You're watching Netflix or whatever, right? I don't know, whatever your cup of tea is. But only for a little short period of time, and then move to something else. I've been talking about this for about 2 years now. When it comes to having an art career, you need to be moving. And this is a very I don't know. I don't know if it's controversial or not, but people don't. I don't know if that's the right word, but people don't really want to listen to that, because we want to listen to something that tells us, hey, you need to relax. You're doing so much, but the reality is that you're not doing enough. So if you're not doing enough, this is what's happening. Your mind is donk, 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 donk. Your mind is bothering you. Your mind is bothering you when you're not doing enough. Right? This is something that I learned from a coach. Look, for your heart to be operating, for you to be operating with your heart rather than your mind, which is the ultimate way to operate as a human being, for you to be operating with your heart rather than your mind, you need to be moving so fucking fast. Like your body, your intentions, whatever. If you have a challenge and you can't move your body, then you need to be picking up the phone or making phone calls. You need to be creating action. The bottom line is that you need to be creating actions so fast and so much that you start operating with your heart. When you start operating with your heart, you start feeling enthusiasm, and your mind starts leaving you alone. But this is my experience, right? This has been my experience. When I talk to people, the very first thing that when I coach artists it's usually just artists, and they're telling me that they don't know what to do. They can't sell artwork. They can't get into the galleries and on and on. And they have this long-winded examples as to why it hasn't happened, it can't happen, it's so difficult, and on and on and on. And then when I say, well, I give a solution, they're like, oh, I knew that. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not the solution you lack, it's the action, right? It's the action. See, every time that you're not creating the action, your mind is going to start bothering you. It's going to start bothering you, because I truly believe that the heart suffers when you're not doing the things that you want to do. That you told yourself, you sold yourself on doing. If you neglect them, if you're not doing them, it's like a pipe, right? It's like a pipe. It's like a pipe that has water, right? Imagine water being energy, and you're that pipe. Every time that you procrastinate on something, you put a little pebble, and then the next day you're like, oh, I already procrastinated on that. I'm going to procrastinate on this other thing. Before you know it, you start feeling it, and then there's no more flow, right? You're not letting energy flow because you keep procrastinating with those little things. It's just a little thing. It's not a big thing, okay? It's a little thing. It's like, I needed to call that gallery. Okay, then the problem is not. It's not. Here's a tip, guys. Here's the mother of all tips. The problem is not that you're procrastinating and you have all this other shit to do. That's not a problem. You can get them done in one day. That's not the problem for most things, for most small things, right? That's not really the problem. The problem is that it punches. It creates a puncture in your self-esteem. That's the problem. The problem is not that you have 10 things to do in a day. That's never a problem. If you're enthusiastic, you'll get them done in like 2 hours. That's not the problem. The problem is that it punctures. It creates a hole in your self-esteem that makes you believe that you can't even lift a fucking finger. That's the problem. And this results in high levels of stress for artists. And even, you know, feeling like they look at their artwork and they're like, man, I'm not even that good, and on and on. All kinds of shit start happening in your mind because you've punctured your self-esteem. You've let yourself down so many times, right? You let yourself down so many times that now you actually believe a lie. You actually believe a lie. And this happens so much. It baffles me how so many artists don't ever touch on this. They don't talk about this. You know, moving into the thing that you want to do, it's not just to get it done, guys. I mean, obviously, duh, right? It's to get it done, but it's not really just to get it done. It's to lift your self-esteem, which is the most important thing. You lift your self-esteem up, you're going to feel invincible. Before you know it, you're going to start creating more artwork. You're going to go into more galleries. You're going to start selling your art, lifting up the prices of your artwork, and on and on and on and on and on, because your self-esteem, because you feel capable. When you feel capable, you can see opportunity. When you don't feel capable, opportunity could be slapping you and you won't even feel it. So, anyways, guys, I'll leave you with that. I know this was a tough little chat here, but hey, it's a kick in the pants early morning. All right, take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.